Welcome to the Misfit Squad podcast,
where we invite you to embrace your difference and to discover a spectrum of possibilities and change what's wrong about you into what is strong about you.
Hey everyone, welcome to this episode of the Misfit Squad podcast. I am one of your hosts, Kim Lucien, and this is
Trina Russ.
We are the Misfits, talking about crazy stuff. So what are we talking about today? Today we're talking about, last show we talked about awareness and what is it.
And then we talked about what is energy
on the show before that. So we've talked about energy, we talked about awareness, which is, a lot of the stuff that we talk about. So today we specifically want to actually lead you through an exercise of how to be and physically use that awareness. So I'm going to recap a couple of things, and I'm looking at my notes so I don't forget. So number one, you are aware. Even if you don't think you are aware.
Dun, dun, dun.
Number two, everything is energy, which means you are energy. What? You are energy. I am energy, she is energy, you are energy, everything is energy. So, something we didn't say before, but we should have said. We're all energy, and that actually energy is our very first language. We come out of mama knowing how to speak energy. That is how we start communicating. Before we have words, we communicate in energy, right? So you have always been able to manipulate it. You've always been able to change it. And the more that you can acknowledge that you are aware that everything is energy, then the more you really can use it, move it, change it, and use that to unstick things, get unstuck, create stuff, make your life move the way that you want.
Yeah, like I like to say, it's when you get into that complete overwhelm or shut down, and almost into that defense mode sometimes, where you feel like you're you're stuck in the spider web of life.
Yes.
Then that's when you use these tools.
Right. So we call this tool expanding your zone, right? So remember in the last show, if you didn't listen, go listen. We talked about that you have a zone of awareness. Everybody, I know Rufus, everybody has a zone of awareness. Rufus is ready for us to be done. She wants to go outside.
Rufus is Kim's dog.
Yeah. So we all have, here she comes, we all have a zone of awareness. And we can move and change and do things with that zone. That's the Rufus earthquake.
That's the frequencies of energy shifting and moving.
So
did you feel it? Did you feel it? Did you see it?
Now get ready. If you're driving, don't close your eyes, and maybe, perhaps don't do this one for the first time when you're driving.
Yes, maybe not.
Maybe not. So we're going to learn how to expand our zone.
We're going to expand your zone of awareness. So everybody take a deep breath in. And as you are exhaling, ask your zone of awareness to expand to the four corners of the room that you're in. And take another deep breath in. And as you expand out, ask it to expand your zone of awareness out across the city that you're in. Now expand out even all the way across the country that you're in. Don't think about it. And if you think you're not doing it, you already are, because that's how fast you are. So keep expanding. And all you have to do is ask, and your body and your being will do this. So take another deep breath in. Expand out across all the oceans, deep down into the core of the earth. Keep expanding. Expand out across the Milky Way. And now through the cosmos. And keep asking your zone to expand until you are way more relaxed and less anxious.
Rufus is starting to like pass out and lean into the table. She's like, so I just want to take this moment to say, like, take a second and like, can you guys sense and perceive?
Rufus is now on the floor.
Yeah. The difference in how the energy feels. We clearly need a more stable table for our camera. Can you see, like, could you perceive the like relaxation and the peace that came in as we were expanding our zone? So
it's like what I like to say, it's like putting on your energetic superpower suit.
Yep.
It's like being able to deal with all the energies that are out in the world, that are out in your environment, in your surroundings, with the people that you deal with. The more that you can actually expand your zone and be in that space, the less so much permeates and like pokes at you.
Yeah. So like, when do you use this? Like, this is cool because we just took like a minute or something to do that. But literally, actually, all you have to do is just like ask your zone of awareness to expand.
I use it when I get really stressed or uptight, or what I would say being overwhelmed. Like sometimes I feel like I'm walking around with my like shoulders up in my ears.
Yeah.
And when I'm like, oh my God, what am I so aware of that has me so constricted and tight? And I'm like, take a deep breath in, expand out.
Yeah. Or like when you're really angry or something is really poking you, that's a great time to just be like, just like you said, like usually I breathe. I'm like, okay, what am I aware of? And I just imagine like happening.
Yeah. And as like a little story side note, like one of our clients who is currently a senior in college, she used to suffer from panic attacks and have high anxiety and get really stressed out and overwhelmed, like when she was like amongst a group of people, which is, you know, you're kind of around that when you're in university, when you're in college studying. So I taught her this tool of expand your zone, and she started applying it in her everyday life when she was at school, walking on campus, and she began to realize how actually aware she was, because she could have so much more space walking through campus while sitting in class, while taking a test without getting overwhelmed. And she's like, oh my God, I had no idea how much I was aware of everybody else's thoughts and feelings and what they're all emoting and the anxiety they have about maybe taking a test. And she goes, so when I did that and I expand my zone, it just gave her that much more space, and it blew her mind to know how actually aware she was. And then she had so much more ease at the test, and at actually getting her homework done and getting it done almost at complete faster speed. Yeah. So discovering your zone of awareness and actually having that tool of expanding your zone can really, truly change your life.
Yeah, absolutely. Like literally, if it's the only tool that you have and it's the only one you use, you will, if you use it, you will notice a difference. Like,
yeah, because we're so used to walking around like feeling like, I don't know, crunchy,
yeah.
like all tied up and all scrunched up, and
yeah, you know, like you have like a 100-pound backpack on your back, and it's like,
you know those, and you know those mornings when you wake up and you like feel like you got ran over by a Mack truck, you're like, whoa, what happened? Or you're like, you know, something like this elephant sitting on your chest.
Yeah.
Those are the moments when you're like, what is this? And you take a deep breath in and you expand out and expand that zone, and you be aware of all the stuff that actually isn't yours. And when you expand that out, stuff just dissipates.
Yep.
And leaves.
Awesome. So that's another episode of the Misfit Squad podcast. We'll see you next time. Thanks.
And in the meantime, all throughout the week, see how many times you can expand your zone.
That's right. See you later.
See you guys.
Thank you for listening to the show.
Our target is to make your awareness easy to use and to acknowledge the power of not fitting in.
If you enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe to our channel on YouTube and share it with someone you know.
Why fit in when you were born to stand out?
Embrace your difference. Join the Misfit Squad.